the meeting to order. Hello everyone, welcome to the February 11th, 2020 regular scheduled Portsmouth City Council meeting in the Walmart Live Council Chambers. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a word of prayer and a moment of silence for those serving our country.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and glory, forever. Amen.
Thank you. May we seated? Clerk, please call the roll.
J.P. Love.
Excuse.
Karen Hovis.
Present.
Beth Gilman.
Present.
Roseanne Hickman.
Present.
Ryan Hill.
Here.
Margaret Phillips.
Here.
Jerry Trolley.
Present.
Thank you. Council, before you, you have the January 28th, 2020 meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Madam President, I move to approve the minutes.
I will second. Thank you, Mrs. Hickman. I have a motion to approve the January 28th, 2020 minutes by Mrs. Phillips, second by Mrs. Hickman. Any discussion? Saying none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries 6-0. The chair notes that certification has been made regarding compliance with the rules and notifications of this meeting. We have no guest presentation and no public comment tonight. We'll start with the officers' reports. First, mine. I will be attending the Ohio Sunshine Law training in open meetings on April 17th, hosted by the Ohio Attorney General's office at Owens Community College. I believe a couple other people are going also. Just a reminder to everyone that you have to attend one Sunshine Public Records training during your term. Once you complete that, please give your certificate to Mr. Hatfield so that he can keep it on record to show that it's been done. I'll also be attending, along with Mrs. Hickman, the Ohio Municipal League training for newly elected officials on April 4th. Also, council, remember you need to file your ethics forms before the deadline. It's in our correspondence, but the deadlines are here. So that's all for me. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Madam President. If you haven't noticed, Columbia Gas has been pretty busy around town. They just finished up work at the intersection of Jefferson and 2nd, as well as Harrison and 2nd. And hopefully by the end of the week, weather permitting, they'll move on to a rather substantial issue that they discovered at the intersection of Laurel and 3rd. That could take some time to complete. Just be mindful when you're traveling in those areas. A quick update on 131 Madison. That's the lot with the big chair. Again, the Idaho County Improvement Corporation is acting on behalf of the city in this sale. The title work has been completed and is back with the CIC. We're waiting on notification of their public meeting. Once that's concluded, that information will come back to City Council for either approval or denial, and that property then will transfer and be back into the rolls of tax-paying property in the city. On Thursday, weather permitting, Mr. Hatfield and Mr. Colston and I will be traveling to Bowling Green to meet with members of the U.S. Department of Agriculture as a funding source for the infrastructure project, Part B, if you will, the below ground stuff. Again, weather permitting, we have made arrangements that if we can't get there, possibly a phone call if the other folks can get to their respective offices to make that happen. On the 24th of this month, I'll be traveling down to Columbus to meet with the ODOT folks in Columbus. Imagine I'm traveling to Columbus to meet with people in Columbus to discuss possible funding sources for the issues along Lakeshore Drive. Again, we've had multiple meetings with ODOT District 2. We finally got to the right folks and are looking to hopefully secure some funding to help shore up the shoreline along Lakeshore Drive. Last week, the city, Portage Township, county, and the developer of a parcel just outside the city limits of Port Clinton met to discuss the potential of annexation into the city. I want to make you aware of that. The developer is looking at their options with regard to water, sewer hookup, and other effects. So that may be something coming down the pipeline in the near future. That's a loose description of near future, however long it takes them to make their decision. On a completely unrelated note, some commercial messages. March 25th, which is Shrove Tuesday, St. John Lutheran Church will be having a pancake dinner, free will offering, and that runs from 5 until 6:30 p.m. at St. John Church at Adams and 2nd. I will be flipping the pancakes, so forgive me if I'm a little late and covered in pancake batter that evening for council, but the community is welcome to attend that. And since we're on the idea of pancakes, April 15th, we all know that date is my daughter's birthday and tax day, but it's also going to be a fundraiser for the Port Clinton 4th of July Celebration Committee. Pancakes for Pyrotechnics is back at the a la carte cafe, serving from 4:30 to 7:30, again, free will offering, with all the proceeds going to support the 4th of July festivities. And you'll hear more information on that as we get closer, because we'll be looking for volunteers, and I think I'm staring at about a dozen or so right now. So thank you. I want to thank Mrs. Gilman for attending an event earlier today. I'm hoping she'll talk all about it, a 211 United Way information session that I was not able to attend because of other commitments. So thank you very much for going on behalf of the city. And then finally, Madam President, with your permission, I'd like to leave the table, and I'd ask that you join me. We're going to go out into the audience to talk to some folks out here. There's no fanfare for what we're going to talk about, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to bring it up. With us today is this young man, Lucas Gutman. Lucas, hi buddy, how you doing? Did you know your snacks?
No.
No? You going to share them with your little brother?
Big brother.
Or big brother. Lucas is very fortunate to be with us today. 4 years old. You may recall the very first Port Clinton Firelight Fun Run Walk that took place at Waterworks Park was done to support Lucas and his efforts to overcome pediatric congenital heart defects. This is an issue that also touches my family. I have a second cousin who passed away after 8 hours of life with a very similar issue to Lucas here. Nationally, this is Pediatric Congenital Heart Disease Awareness Week, February 7th to the 14th. And with the assistance of my seeing eye person, we have a proclamation that we would like to read and present. But before we do that, would you folks like to say anything more about Lucas or congenital heart?
I want to thank everyone.
This is Jen, definitely.
My name is Jen. I'm the mother of Lucas Gutman. This is my dad, Rob Constein, and of course, Lucas, the man of the hour. We were so thankful that you were interested in declaring this week Congenital Heart Defect Awareness Week, because with awareness comes funding that we desperately need. 1 in 100 babies has a heart defect. CHDs, congenital heart defects, are as common as autism, but receive less funding. In the USA, twice as many children die from CHDs each year than all forms of childhood cancer combined. CHDs are the #1 cause of birth defect-related deaths. These are horrible statistics, and this is why we want to declare it Congenital Defect Week, to bring the awareness and hopefully find a cure for this dreadful condition. So this is the Port Clinton that I know and love, that kind of comes together for each other, and I'm very proud to be a citizen of Port Clinton, and I'm proud of all of you here. Thank you so much for bringing to light this important issue. So thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, yes.
Proclamation. Whereas 1 in 100 babies in the United States is born with congenital heart defect, or CHD, some of which are not diagnosed for months or years. And whereas these heart ailments are among Port Clinton's most common birth defects and the leading cause of infant mortality. And whereas some CHDs require multiple surgeries and a lifetime of medication and interventions, forcing Port Clinton's families to face the challenge of raising children who suffer from heart defects. And whereas, although some babies and children have critical congenital heart defects, CCHDs, and do not show symptoms of these undiagnosed defects, which can cause sudden cardiac death in young athletes who are not routinely screened for CCHDs. And whereas early detection of CCHDs coupled with intervention services typically improves the child's quality of life and may even save his or her life. And whereas Ohio is proud to have moved forward with the statewide Pulse Oximetry heart screening program performed in addition to the newborn metabolic screening panel before an infant is discharged from the hospital. And whereas, thanks to diligent research and ongoing field experience, the causes and symptoms of CHDs are becoming more rapidly identifiable, and the range of surgical options is growing. And whereas increased awareness is critical so that parents, pediatricians, nurses, and caregivers can recognize the warning signs in newborns and provide a proper treatment as soon as possible, reducing permanent disabilities and mortality. Now, therefore, by Mayor of the City of Port Clinton, Ottawa County, and State of Ohio, that the Conquering Congenital Heart Defect Week shall be February 7th through 14th, and witness whereof I have unto set my hand, cause the seal of the City of Port Clinton, Ohio, to be affixed the 7th day of February 2020. Michael Snyder, Mayor.
Would you like to talk a little bit about Lucas and his issues and what your time in Minneapolis? And
Sure. Thanks to the fundraiser that the City of Port Clinton held for Lucas, we were able to make him the second child in the United States to receive a stem cell injection from his own umbilical cord blood. And to do that, we had to fly to Minnesota at Mayo Clinic to participate in this experimental research trial. His cardiologist is now saying that she wishes she could prescribe stem cells to all of her HLHS patients, which is a critical form of CHD. He's doing great. He's playing soccer. He has tons of friends. He's got a lot of girlfriends now.
all right, buddy.
So he's living life. He's loving life. And what the next 10, 20, 30 years will bring, we don't know yet. But we're faithful, and we trust that he's going to show everybody what you can make happen with CHD. So we're very proud of him.
No shortage of energy.
Yeah.
If anybody, God bless Danny Thomas of St. Jude's. If anybody has an in with Warren Buffett or Bill Gates, we need a major funder to help do some research. There's no research really being done on the causes.
It is coming. It's coming far. We're gaining momentum as the heart community keeps putting out the awareness, and all over the state of Ohio, we're pushing to get these declarations out there and to get the awareness out there. So we're hoping we can find some deep pockets that want to contribute to research someday. So. Thank you.
The only thing I have to add, my granddaughter's 4 years old. Stay away.
It goes the other way.
Madam President, that concludes my presentation this evening.
Thank you.
My report.
So now the treasurer's report.
Madam Chairman, dead taxes to date this early in the year, $4,265.68.
Thank you very much. Law Director's report.
Thank you, Madam President. I too will be attending the Ohio Sunshine Law training at Owens College. That's it.
Thank you. Supervisors reports. SSD Colston.
Thank you, Mr. President. Activity guides I passed out. I want to thank Mrs. Bluth for putting this all together. It's a collaboration with the Chamber, the city, schools, and Magruder Hospital. So it has all the activities listed for sports and some of the camps, and then the hospital has a lot of their stuff in here. A lot of events are in here, so I think it's a good book. It goes out to every student and school. They pass them out to the elementary and all the kids there. I'm sure she'll call me to take them to the preschool pretty soon too. But, and we have some here up front that Ms. Lozano will have set up front. We had a pre-construction meeting today for 2nd and Jefferson, Jefferson Street. I want to comment first on 2nd and Jefferson. Next week you're going to see us put 4-way stops there. That traffic light will be taken out. Okay, going to get it out. They're going to get the project going to start. As a pre-construction meeting we talked about, they're going to start March 2nd. They're going to start on North Jefferson for the beginning of the project. They will be in here within the next 2 weeks someday to do some preliminary work on Perry Street, right there, Perry and Jefferson. They will maintain traffic. It will be open. One lane will be open at all times, so that won't be an issue. And that's what a day or so, and they said maybe 2. So they're going to do to make sure where everything's at, and they want to get a physical, where the pipes and everything's at. So that's going to happen. Like I said, then they're starting to move stone. We're putting some stone at 317, the old City Hall. They're going to park some of their equipment over by the ball field there, and of course we'll adjust that with the water this summer, first of all, and with the burning snowman. We'll make sure that everything's nice and tidy and out of the way for that. That's why eventually they will use the high ground to put stone and stuff up there. And then of course they'll be out of there when we get to the wall. So that's what's going on with that regards. Anything I missed there?
Just the best they can, contractors know that businesses need access, and starting with Mr. Martin and Mr. Colson, they've made arrangements with the contractor to make sure that businesses along North Jefferson have access.
There won't be
Hope
too
for
much,
southerly winds.
Yeah, there won't be too much work on the west side at all by Subway and down there, so they can walk there. Eric and I met with bootleggers and had a meeting with them and told them the access. They were more concerned if their walkers could get there, so there's no issue with many of their customers using the parking lot anyways. Parking lot will be pretty much open until they have to make the initial cut all the way to the river there, then obviously it'll be closed for a few days. This one will throw out there, we have a snow event starting tomorrow, late afternoon. If it starts to get deep, I would appreciate, or my guys would appreciate, if you could pull your cars in driveways where possible. That'll make it much easier for my plow guys to get out and do that, our plow guys to get out and do that. If we declare emergency, it'll go between the chief and the mayor. If we declare...
And you, don't leave us out there.
I'll be out there doing that. We'll be, if we declare a snow emergency, you have to get your cars off the streets. Okay, so just try to help us out. It is coming. We're going to get a few inches. Last I saw was 4 to 6, depending on where the front goes, and depending if it gets any rain in the beginning of that. So please watch it. And it's starting between 4 and 7 tomorrow is when it's really going to start to come down. So just a word of warning for that, please. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to committee reports and environmental and public works. Mrs. Hickman?
Thank you, Madam President. I spoke to my committee folks today, and we will be holding our meetings the 4th Tuesday of the month at 6:30, starting on February 25th here in the conference room.
Thank you.
And that is all, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you. Safety Services, Mrs. Phillips?
Thank you, Madam President. We met today, and one thing that did come up was Wednesday and Thursday of this week, there's a possibility that a helicopter will be flying over, assuming, of course, that the snow doesn't end up. But it's from Ohio Edison, and what they are doing is they're doing a slow structure by structure, span by span inspection. they're hoping to do it on Wednesday or Thursday, but it certainly doesn't sound like it, so I wouldn't be surprised if this were moved on to a little farther down the line. This is from Ohio Edison, so they fly low, and you think they're going to be a little too low. That's different though. The other thing that we talked about was that in order for a vehicle to be on the city street legally, it has to have a VIN number, and we are looking at a possible ordinance dealing with the necessity of ensuring that we have a VIN number on these vehicles. Otherwise, it is not street legal, no matter what people tell you. It has to be that it can be titled and require license plates, I think. But the VIN number is the big thing. And that's what we talked about. We will bring that up again the next time that we meet. And thank you, Madam President.
Arts and Culture, Mrs. Gilman?
Thank you, Madam President. Arts and Culture will have their first meeting the 25th at 5:30. That's the fourth Tuesday. And I'm going to keep it the fourth Tuesday. If we need to meet more, as things come up, we might change that. But for now, that time's been changed to 5:30 on the 25th. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you very much. Okay, we'll now move on to correspondence. Council, before you have the Ohio Ethics Commission thing reminder. Do I have a motion to approve the correspondence as stated? Second. Mr. Foley. Motion to approve the correspondence as stated by Mrs. Gilman, second by Mr. Trolley. Any discussion?
What are we approving?
Just the Ohio Ethics Commission filing.
I know, like what?
Just that was correspondence that came in.
We've never done it before, so interesting.
Correct.
All right.
That is normally how it
I
is
just
been
talked to my
done.
colleague, it sounds like we're supposed to do that.
Previously, normally you list what you've got in. So, any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries 6-0. We have no ordinances. Hopefully by next council meeting we'll have at least one, if not more. We'll do business from the floor. Mrs. Phillips, would you like to start?
Thank you, Madam President. What I wanted to say was, what I said during my business part, I think that's quite important. But I do want to thank all of you for your kindness at my sister's passing. Thank you.
I'm going to double back now that Chief Hickman's in the back and forget about the police chief's report.
I was perfectly fine.
Sorry about that, Chief.
Oh, that's okay. As you may have remembered, we ordered 4 cruisers that we finally got in. 3 of them are currently on the road. We're waiting on the K9 insert for the 4th car, but we have 3 of the 4 brand new cars, the 2020 Ford Explorers, on the road right now. They went into service this week. To piggyback on what Margaret had stated, on the helicopter visual inspections, it's going to take them about 8 weeks to complete it. So it's supposed to start Wednesday or Thursday, weather permitting, but it's going to be an 8-week process, just so you're aware. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Sorry again, Chief Hickman. Okay, now Mr. Hill, business from the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Just a couple people in my ward asked me about the note on the water bill, and wonder if there's an update about that.
In reference to the
water treatment, is everything okay?
there was no violation. It was a mathematical error.
Okay. All right, that's all I have. Thank you.
Mrs. Gomes?
Thank you, Madam President. I attended, as the mayor had mentioned, the local resource exchange today, which was the 211 talk by United Way. Many organizations were there. They all gave their information, and I'll get packets for each one of the council members. There is a website, 211nwo.org. If you used it in the past, it's the same type of search site. You can put in almost anything from, we had a gateway of a cooling station come up, and I searched cooling, and Magruder Hospital popped up among other things. We have the cafe. It's a great resource. Almost anything any of your constituents or anyone in the city would need, anything at all. It's just free information and referral. And they have put a lot of money into that with United Way to update it for our community.
They also mentioned this organization has events. They're trying to get, there's lots of tabs you can click in this new database. The Family Advocacy Center is having an event on the 13th at their center, a DART presentation with Trevor Johnson. There's just a lot of different activities and all these different organizations are trying to get it together so people can access the resources easier. So again, I'll get packets for each one of the council members so you have that. Most of it you guys know. It's all the different agencies, Salvation Army. You're all pretty familiar with it, but in case somebody else asks you, you have that information. Thank you, Madam President.
Mrs. Hickman?
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Mr. Joy?
Yes, Madam President, I have a few items. First item, Jackson Street water line replacements. Is that Jackson or Monroe? Jackson. How is that coming along?
I don't think he's going too far with it. He has some valves and stuff to fix right now first, and once he gets that done, he's going to move over to Jackson. And he'd like to have the weather break a little bit.
Gotcha, understood. Marsh, any word from the state?
No, I read a little
The
of.
wetlands.
Yeah, the wetlands, I should say. I can't believe I called it that.
I can't
Sorry,
either.
I'm a rookie again here.
Whoa. I know, right? Figure my skin's crawling. Not say that.
Actually, the communication's been a little bit sketchy lately because Chris Akios, the guy that we talked to, his mother passed away, and he had to go to New Jersey to do all the burial and do all that kind of stuff.
Understood.
I did talk to Tyson, who is the guy that's on the grounds here.
You got his name right.
I did today. That's the guy with the beard.
We call him Beard.
But Tyson said they still haven't had the sign back from Tidewater, so I do not have an answer for you on that.
Okay.
And Chris is back, and I expect him back the first of next week. Then I'll have some answers for you at the end of the time.
Great, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Also, Tree Commission met tonight or this evening, and Arbor Day is April 24th, it's Friday, 5 p.m. at City Park. Also, if anyone is interested in donating to purchase some trees for the city, the Ottawa Soil and Water Conservation District has their annual tree sale. You can buy packets of 10 trees from $12 to $25, or single trees 4 to 5 foot tall for $25 a piece. The Tree Commission would be willing to take care of your donation. I can't say that we'll put a plaque on the tree, but we're in the process of purchasing some of the trees. They will be placed in City Park for Arbor Day. And one item with the packets, they're only 12 to 18 inches tall, so we will nurse them along until they're the proper height to place in the city. And that's all I have, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Thank you. Don't believe we have any announcements. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Madam President, I move this August body adjourn.